This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
I hold in my little hands, medium-sized hands at least, bigger than some. I hold in my hand a judgment from the judge, what is his name? We'll read it one more time. United States District Judge Royce Lamberth, who has summarily denied the reversal of the QAnon shaman's guilty verdict. Remember, the QAnon shaman, the guy with the horns and the paint all over him, just the guy with a little sad tummy that needed organic food when he was in jail, and his mom said, oh, he's going to die without his organic food. First, I want to read from this headline, and then I want to read some of the things that this judge wrote in refusing to overturn the guilty verdict, the guilty plea that was entered. From the Daily Beast, judge skewers QAnon shaman while refusing to vacate his conviction. A federal judge on yesterday, denied Jacob Chansley, better known as the infamous QAnon shaman, a request to reverse his guilty plea for his role in the January 6th insurrection at the United States Capitol. In his denial, Judge Royce Lamberth wrote that Chansley was the face of the riot, and that recently emerged materials, like videos shared by Tucker Carlson in March, actually made him wish he'd slapped Chansley with a harsher sentence than he did in November of 2021. The swift denial came less than a week after Chansley filed a motion to have his plea reversed. Chansley had previously filed to vacate or correct his sentence in April, which was also denied. Yesterday's ruling means Chansley, who gained notoriety after photos emerged of him being shirtless with a buffalo headdress on and a painted face, will maintain his guilty plea to a charge of obstructing Congress's certification of the 2020 vote. Now, this is a 35-page write-up. I'm obviously not going to read the full 35 pages. In fact, if you're following along, there will be a link to this document in the description below. I would encourage you to read this whole thing. It really lays bare the nonsense. But I'm going to read the crux of it from like page 33 and 34. From United States District Judge Royce Lamberth, Mr. Chansley's claims are without merit. Thus, the court will deny his motion to vacate, set aside, or correct his conviction under 28 U.S. Code Section 2255. The court is disappointed, meaning the judge. The court is disappointed to learn that through his filings and public statements, Mr. Chansley has recanted the contrition displayed at his sentencing nearly 2 years ago. Such an about-face casts serious doubt on the veracity of any of Mr. Chansley's claims, here or elsewhere. Finally, the court would be remiss if it did not address the ill-advised television program of March 6, 2023. What the judge is talking about there is the access that Kevin McCarthy gave to Tucker Carlson, where Tucker Carlson lied about the footage and said that the cops, the Capitol Police, were giving Mr. Chansley a tour of the facility, opening doors for him. Here you go. Let's go onto the sacred Senate floor. Because I'm going to finish here, but I can attest to having worked for the United States Senate on the United States Senate floor. It is not a come and go as you please for the public. It is without a doubt a sacred, controlled space where not just everybody can go. Not even Senate staff can come and go as they please on the floor of the United States Senate. I was lucky enough, blessed enough, to be one of those people who could come and go. Again, finally, the court would be remiss if it did not address the ill-advised television program, Tucker Carlson, of March 6, 2023. Not only was the broadcast replete with misstatements and misrepresentations regarding the events of January 6, 2021, too numerous to count, the host explicitly questioned the integrity of this court, not to mention the legitimacy of this entire U.S. criminal justice system with inflammatory characterizations of cherry-picked videos stripped of their proper context. In doing so, he called on his followers to reject the evidence of their eyes and ears, language resembling the destructive, misguided rhetoric that fueled the events of January 6th in the first place. The court finds it alarming that the host's viewers throughout the nation so readily heeded his command, but this court cannot and will not reject the evidence before it, nor should the public. Members of the public who are concerned about the evidence presented in Mr. Chansley's case and others like may view the public docket and attend our court proceedings in these cases. Those of us who have presided over dozens of cases arising from, listened to hundreds of hours of testimony describing, and reviewed thousands of pages of briefing about the attack on our democracy of January 6th know all too well that neither the events of that day nor any particular defendant's involvement can be fully captured in a seconds-long video carelessly or perhaps even cynically aired in a television segment or attached to a tweet. For these reasons, he goes on, the court concludes that Mr. Chansley's motion and the record in his case do not show him entitled to relief. No evidentiary hearing is warranted, blah, 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 blah. Signed this 20th day of July, 2023. Good for the judge. Good for America. Good for democracy. Bad for Tucker Carlson getting called out by a U.S. district judge. And real good for Jacob Chansley to not be having his sentence reversed. These people are a parody of a bad joke that would be laughable if it weren't so sad, if it weren't so damaging and dangerous to the republic that there are many of these people still out there holding true and holding fast to their beliefs that revolve around an anti-democratic conspiracy theory. A theory that would end democracy in America, that would put Donald Trump extra constitutionally, extra democratically back in office. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can also email me daily@dollemore.com. The other way is you can just leave a comment. That's what YouTube is, right? Comment section. I would love to see you there. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. And if you want to help support my work and produce my work, click the join button below, click the super thanks button below, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. And with all of that, I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.